Hey everyone, welcome back in. This is video 2, all things pumpkin-y. Now in our last video, we were reading a simple nonfiction book, Pumpkins, and we learned some new facts. One of our new facts was that a pumpkin is a fruit, not a vegetable. How interesting was that? We reviewed some old facts that we knew, and we decided that since one of the cool things you can do with a pumpkin in October, close to Halloween, is to turn it into an amazing jack-o'-lantern. So I thought it would be fun if we carved my pumpkin together into a jack-o'-lantern, and of course we're going to explore the inside of a pumpkin and see some interesting things on the inside because we took a look at the outside. So before we carve, let's review some pumpkin facts and read another nonfiction book. This one's called Amazing Jack-o'-lanterns. But before we start reading, I have to go to the back of this cover because the book actually starts on the back. There's an invitation from the author for us to read. It says, I like this because I would not think that I would even be reading the back of the book first, but it says, pumpkins grow from pumpkin seeds. When they get big, you can make a jack-o'-lantern. What do you know about jack-o'-lanterns? So already asking me questions before I start reading this. Definitely important when you're doing a nonfiction. Think, what questions do you have? What do you want to learn? What do you know about jack-o'-lanterns? Hey, have you got your pumpkin? Are you ready to carve? Have you already carved with your family members or decorated your pumpkin? There are lots of cool decorating kits out there to do just the outside without even carving and opening up a pumpkin. So there's lots of ways to decorate. Have you done yours yet? It is October. It's almost Halloween. The world around you is a very big place. There are lots of things to see and hear and know. Open the pages of this book and discover your world. I love that invitation. Look at these pumpkin faces. Interesting. All right, so let's read Amazing Jack-o'-lanterns and then we'll explore together. That's a cute picture. Amazing Jack-o'-lanterns. I love that title page. How cute is that pumpkin? Do you like a silly pumpkin face? A happy pumpkin face? I do. I love those square eyes. Pumpkins make amazing jack-o'-lantern. That looks very heavy. He's having to lift that. He's using the stem. You need a good stem on your pumpkin. Pumpkins start from seeds. Those seeds are pumpkin seeds. There's a question, how many seeds? Can you count them? But I bet if you go into a pumpkin, there's a lot of pumpkin seeds, probably too many to count. Look at that pumpkin leaf. It's very large. It says seeds grow into vines, which is something we learned from our last video. There's the vine, beautiful pumpkin leaf, and the flower. And under the flower, baby pumpkin. It's green. Over time, the flower will open up. It turns that beautiful orangey yellow color. There's the pumpkin, and it's attached to the vine, which the vine is in the ground. Flowers grow on vines. What color is the flower? I love the shape of the flower too. It looks almost like a star, doesn't it? There's the pumpkin vine with some baby pumpkins. Flowers become little pumpkins. And then over time, those pumpkins are going to grow bigger and bigger. Here's the patch with lots of pumpkins. I'm thinking it's probably the season of fall. What do you think? Pumpkin time is right at hand here. Soon the pumpkins are ripe and ready. Do the pumpkins look heavy? There's a question for you. You know, nonfiction books have lots of different features in them, and sometimes they'll give you little fast facts or quick facts or questions. So remember, we have talked about nonfiction. You're looking at the photos, you're reading, and then you're going to go up and you're going to check out any other elements or nonfiction facts that they want you to explore. Don't ignore those. They give you information too. After you get your pumpkin home, it's time to explore the inside, which is exactly what we're going to do in a minute when we finish. Ooh, I can't wait. Cut off the top. And that's one reason that you definitely need a good stem, because if your family is opening, if you're carving your jack-o'-lantern with your family, you're going to need to get inside, so you need a good stem. So as you're looking for your pumpkins, make sure it has a good sturdy stem. Scoop out the insides. We're going to go inside and scoop out. I love these pumpkin carving kits that you can buy now. They've already got the scoops in them. We might need a big scoop for that. Make a happy face. That's funny. I don't know if I want to put a pumpkin on my face. I think they're just holding it there. You can make a happy pumpkin face, but you can also, I never thought about making a sad pumpkin face. Have you? Oh, I love how they carved a tear in there. Interesting. What shape is the nose? Triangle, right? And of course, no pumpkin is going to be complete without a light inside. And that's why we have to clean out the inside so we can put our light in there. So light it up. Happy Halloween. I like that. That was a really short, sweet book. Before we explore, the last page has some questions. Let's see if we're experts now with all things jack-o'-lantern and pumpkin. Do pumpkins grow from seeds? Yes or no? Yes, we know that. Do pumpkin plants have vines? Easy, of course. What happens to the flowers? Oh yeah, they dry up, and underneath that baby pumpkin plant grows. What's inside a pumpkin? We're going exploring right now. We're going to discover all things pumpkin-y inside. And then the last question is, how do you make a jack-o'-lantern? And then this says you can find the answers in this book. Interesting. Now, I went ahead and cut the top of my pumpkin. I went ahead and opened it up before I started the video because that's the hardest part. This shell is very, very tough. And I used a knife, but I know with these pumpkin carving kits, there's a tool in there. It's a little sharp poker. And over the years, I've used it so much, mine actually broke. So I had to use a knife. Now, if you are carving a pumpkin safety, pumpkin carving safety is essential. Make sure that an adult is helping you with this part, because if you're using a sharp object, even as an adult, I am very careful when I'm using sharp objects. But the tools in the kit are really designed to get through this really thick outer shell. So I went ahead and I sort of formed a circle. I punched the knife into the shell, and then very carefully I had to take it out sort of in this manner. And I had the sharp edge away from me because if it slipped, then it's not going to come toward me. So I poked it in, and then I sort of sawed. And then when I got to a turn, I would have to take it out and kind of punch it back in. This is why you need an adult, and even the adult needs to be careful. So I went ahead and took care of that. And when I open it up, definitely automatically, I'm pulling out a lot of strings. So the inside is very stringy, and you can see that the shell is thick. You can see the thickness of the shell. There's the skin, and there's the shell. That would be the pulp of the pumpkin. This is the part that you use for pumpkin foods. If you're making a pumpkin pie or a pumpkin soup, or you're using this in some kind of a pumpkin recipe, then this is the part that you're going to be cooking. So you would cut off the shell, then you would have to boil this down and cook that and make it soft and turn it into pumpkin that you can use in recipes. So just like this, you wouldn't be eating the pumpkin. And when I touch, it's definitely, it's wet. So the outside was dry. The inside is wet and moist. I brought my towel. And then you can see up close, you can see all of those strings, and then attached to the strings, pumpkin seeds. Remember we had that one page where it said count the seeds? Lots of seeds in this. We're not going to be counting. So before you do carve your pumpkin, you have to clean out the pumpkin guts if you please. So you're going to have to be getting all of the pumpkin strings and seeds. So that's a very, very messy job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, clean most of it out, and then we'll continue with the carving of our jack-o'-lantern. Okay, kids, I have cleaned out this pumpkin. I have scooped and scooped, and I just put all of my seeds and strings into this bucket because I love pumpkin seeds. So I'm going to be cleaning this later on. I'm going to get all of the strings off of there. I'm going to wash the pumpkin seeds and then spread them out on a paper towel, and I'm going to let them dry, and then I'm going to coat them with some spray, some Pam spray, put a little salt on them, and put them in the oven for a few minutes and get them nice and crunchy. So if you love pumpkin seeds, you're going to want to save those, but you have to clean them up first. So you and your family members can look online for a recipe. You can even put different kinds of seasonings on them and make them taste all deliciousness. So don't throw away the seeds, but you got to clean them up. So I've got that ready. I used my pumpkin scoop, which was very helpful, but I'm telling you, the strings were very, very thick, and it was very hard. It took me quite a while to just scoop it up. I tried to get it as clean as I could because I'm going to be putting my light in there. So here's the inside of our pumpkin. We talked about when we pulled up the lid how this is the pulp, this is the skin. You have to take the skin off This is the part we use for foods. And then the strings were holding the seeds. So those have to be removed. And inside, you know, pumpkins have a smell, a very distinct pumpkin-y smell. And even though they grow from a flower, I don't think they smell good like a flower. They sort of smell fresh and earthy. So there's the inside. There's still a few strings in there. You can tell that there's the pulp, and you can tell the inside is that lighter yellow, the pulp. So you would have to cut this pumpkin. You'll have to peel the pumpkin to get to that pulp, and then you cook it down and you can make some delicious foods. But our goal is to make a jack-o'-lantern face. Now, what kind of jack-o'-lantern face that you make is up to you. We saw in our book that you can make a happy face or a cute face with the little square eyes, or even a sad face. And if you're really an artist, you can even draw really cool designs on your pumpkin shell and carve those out. Well, family members can. Or you can get kits now where you're just putting things on the pumpkin. You don't even actually have to carve it. Then your pumpkin will stay fresh for a really long time. I've got this poster here back behind me that has all different kinds of shapes. There's circle eyes and a cute little smile. That's weird. It's like the nose is up there. Interesting. So what kind of face do you like? And has your family already carved the jack-o'-lantern for Halloween, since it's getting very close now? If you haven't, you and your family can have maybe a contest to decide. Maybe each family member could draw out the eyes, nose, and mouth, and maybe even ears, or the design that they like best. And then you can have a vote to see which face the family likes the best. Or you could put all of the pictures into a bucket or hat, pick out one, and that's the design. It's kind of fun, but if you have a lot of family members, then you're going to have to all come to the same design together. So that might be a fun way to do. Have a vote, have a contest, pull it out of a hat. Now, I'm drying off because, you know, it's juicy on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and, of course, on the one side is where it was sitting in the patch. So I'm going to use this side. And I'm thinking about my pumpkin face, and I know that up here is going to be where I put my eyes. And then here, nose, and then mouth, of course. So I'm kind of unusual. You know, my favorite pumpkin right here is an oblong, tall pumpkin. So, of course, my face is going to be non-traditional. I'm not going to go for, a lot of people do triangle eyes, triangle nose, and then that jagged mouth, or the mouth with the little teeth. I'm going to show you my favorite design, and then I'm going to pause you again and cut it out so you can see it. I always start with a marker. I don't start carving it up. I always put the design on first. So my favorite weird shape for an eye is something different, something unusual. I like a sort of a noodly cat shape. Kind of narrow. What do you think about that? And I'm going to do it on the other side over here. Now, it's not going to be exactly the same. It's hard to get, I think, when I'm doing my designs. Some people are very artistic and they can get their designs pretty close, matchy-matchy. And you can see as I'm drawing, that pumpkin shell is very bumpy. There's lots of ridges in it. So, ooh, that looks kind of cool. That could actually look like some eyebrows. Now, the nose is going to be a non-traditional. I'm going to have let's see if I can tilt that up. I'm going to have a square nose. Yeah, I'm going to go square. Do you dare to have a square nose? There we go. Looking pretty good. Yeah, the more I think about it, those do look like eyebrows. Do you think I should make like an eye and just pretend like that's my eyebrows? Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to go with, since I like that sort of cat eye shape, I'm going to go with more of a cat shape. And I can see that this eye is bigger, but no problem, because I can come over here and I can just draw that in bigger because I'm going to be cutting it out. I can get them about the same size, but no jack-o'-lantern face is going to be ever perfect or symmetrical mouth. Non-traditional. I love a circle mouth like this. Like it's scared. So I'm going to draw my circle-shaped mouth. Now I'm going to put you on pause one more time. I'm going to cut out. I'm going to be using my tools. What I'm going to do is I'll be like just punching a little hole with my knife. If I had that punching tool, that would be great. There is another little tool. It's sort of you kind of just punch it in like that. Oh yeah, that works great. And it's not as, it won't go down into the shell, but at least gets you started. And then I love these little, they're safer, that they're not totally safe as far as they are sharp, so they could cut. The thing I really like about these is that you can, the pumpkin shell is obviously so thick, but you can saw. So it helps you just seesaw into that. Okay, I'm going to keep seesawing, and I'm going to get this carved up. And then you can come back in and see the finished face. Okay, I'll be back. Well, I'm back. It did take a lot of sawing, and I do need to kind of tweak up down here. I will do that later. And punching, you have to punch out your parts. I saved one to pull out with you. So once you carve everything, you have to pull out those chunky pieces. What do you think? Pretty awesome jack-o'-lantern face. I think so. Then, of course, the final thing you must do is fit your jack-o'-lantern with a light. And I love these cool lights that you don't have to light. They're actually battery powered. Fit that back on. Hopefully it fits nice. Sticks back in there. Ooh, and we have accomplished our jack-o'-lantern face. Now, just wait for Halloween, put it in the window, and have a really fun, safe jack-o'-lantern-y Halloween.